Good evening. My name is Jason Unruhe, and you're watching my YouTube channel. As many of you well know, I am a Canadian. I was born in Canada, I've lived my entire life in Canada, and I certainly have white Canadian privilege. But I've been hearing a lot of things lately that I find frankly disturbing. A lot of Americans are talking about how they want to leave the United States if Donald Trump wins the election. There's another segment of the population who says that they're going to leave the country if Bernie Sanders wins the election. Now, I myself as a Canadian want to defend Canadian values. This is Canada for Canadians. And I don't think that makes me a bad man for wanting to stand up for traditional Canadian values. With these Americans coming across the border, the first thing they're going to do is start taking our jobs. And we don't have enough jobs that is. Thanks to the previous American-style government that we used to have, we're in a much worse situation than we were before. Finally now, we have a younger, good-looking guy who smokes weed that can finally set Canada back on its proper course. And I don't think it's wrong for me to want to stand up for Canadian values. I like living in a country where I'm not going to get shot every time I step out of my house. I like being able to go to a doctor whenever I need to. And I think that the influx of Americans coming into this country, taking our jobs, will ruin that. I'm not racist against Americans. I just want Canada to remain Canadian and to have Canadian values. Traditional Canadian values. Sure, the Americans come in with their ideas about genociding their native population. It's not like we don't have a very similar past, but we're not like them, if you know what I mean. Sure, we engage in the same NATO terrorism that the United States and many other countries carry in, but it's not the same for us because we're peacekeepers, not police. We don't force anyone to do anything. All we really do is stand there and enforce the rule that's been put on them. And that's a real Canadian value. Because when Middle Eastern countries get bombed and we support it, it's not us that's doing it, it's the Americans that are doing it. We're not like them. And if all these Americans start moving to Canada, we're going to be like them. Their culture is going to come in. Their really backward and barbaric culture with their rampant gun crime, killing each other on the street over minor things, even shooting themselves by accident. Their adamant desire to deny people access to basic health care, just basic human services that everybody would need in order to live. That's not a Canada that I want to live in. I want to live in Canada, not America. That's why I live here. And that's why I hope you'll join me on my campaign to help prevent Americans from moving to Canada. We stand for a traditional Canada based on traditional Canadian values. Let's keep Canada Canadian and tell those Americans to go back where they came from. Thank you for watching. Won't you go ahead, rate, comment, subscribe, and share on various social media. And if you want, you can head over to my Patreon page and show your support. Or you could head over to the MRN bookstore and check out some of the latest books available.